So, welcome to this webinar entitled E-MetroTel is the Path Forward. My name is Scott Hanwell, and I'm the marketing lead here at E-MetroTel, and it's my very great pleasure to be hosting today's event and to welcome you to this session. So, in terms of the agenda today, we're going to begin by hearing from our CEO, Ardavan Nawaby, who will give us a brief overview of who we are and what sets us apart from the competition and how we win deals. I'll then take you through a brief overview of some of the key sales motions that will build success for you with E-MetroTel solutions. And then I'm going to pass the floor back to Ardavan to talk about the innovation that will be coming from E-MetroTel in 2025. Then I'm going to walk you through a few examples of our success stories and comments from our existing resellers. And then I'll pass the baton over to Patricia Wolfenbarger, who is our US business development leader, who will give you next steps in terms of onboarding with E-MetroTel. Then we'll conclude the presentation by hearing from Tim Rogers, Senior Buyer and Key Accounts Manager at Target Distributing, about your next steps with Target to gain access to the E-MetroTel portfolio. All right, so Ardavan, kick us off here, and please give the audience a sense of who E-MetroTel is.
Okay, so thank you, Scott. I want to start by thanking Tim Rogers and Target Distributing team giving us the opportunity to present today, as well as carrying our product along with the rest of their portfolio. My name is, as mentioned, is Ardavan Nawaby. I'm the president and CEO of E-MetroTel. E-MetroTel was created in 2009 with a simple notion that if you're a customer and you want to be like, you have a cell phone and you want to go, for example, from T-Mobile to AT&T, you don't want to throw that cell phone away. You want to change services, you want to get new features, and then when it's the time to get a new device, then you will, you buy the new device. This is how we started this company. I used to work for Nortel Networks. Nortel went away in 2009. We had a group of customers, a huge number of customers being abandoned, and therefore that's where our journey started. We built a product portfolio to migrate the Nortel base, and along the way, we have been, also added support for Panasonic, for Avaya, for Nortel, as well as for NEC that we are working on right now. We are a global company. With our mothership is called E-MetroTel Global. That is registered in the state of Texas. We have an operating business which is under E-MetroTel LLC. That's our US business. We have E-MetroTel Canada Inc. It's a subsidiary that runs our Canadian business. Similarly, we got E-MetroTel Europe as well as E-MetroTel Australia. Our team is spread globally with the majority of the R&D as well as support being out of North America, out of US and Canada, with designers in Europe as well as in Asia. Our differentiation, as I mentioned, briefly now, is the green migration, which allows customers to reuse their existing devices to get access to, and along the way to get access to new features, and then as time comes, they can replace it with our devices, or they might just use a soft phone or something similar. We differentiate ourselves by providing an end-to-end solution, all the way from SIP trunks, from the servers, devices, as well as the various components. So it's a one-stop shop, which allows us to provide outstanding support. And one very important thing, we follow the traditional way of go-to-market. We sell through channels. Our channels are our sales and voice into the market. What sets us apart? Number one is the green migration, which really means that we have designed a solution that it's for the customer, right? We have built something that we have kept the customer in mind. The value is for the customer, the end user, being able to reuse existing phones, have similar feature and functionality that they had in the past, like a line appearance, BLF keys, and so on, whether they're on a traditional device or a new device, if they're on a soft phone that is running on Android, having all the similar features available to them. And what that means to a reseller, what that means to a reseller, that you're not going to be first of all getting bogged down by customer asking you where is this feature, where is that feature, as well as not opening up your base to competition, because a gradual migration would allow you to keep your customer, keep your base, the base that you have worked on so hard for many years, and gradually move them on. And you can migrate analog, IP, SIP, PRI, T1s. You can combine all these different technology, as well as adding, things like a soft phone, find me, follow me, various features to our for your provide that to your customer. We are very scalable. We go from very small to our largest customer is actually 6,000 ports. It's Department of Energy that they're using our platform. So we're very scalable. And then the other value is that we bring is how you win with us. You can bring all our solutions, whether on an appliance or you can provide it in the cloud to them. Even a digital phone from Panasonic or NEC or Nortel is supported in our cloud system, in our cloud platform. And again, as we said before, we are very, very focused on the reseller, making sure the reseller gets the sales training, technical training, getting the support that they need. And you can call, you open up a ticket, and you can actually talk to a live support engineer in North America. And these are the things that helps us to be different in this, busy market that you are aware of. How to win? Well, the number one is providing an end-to-end solution. So when a customer hears that there is a single vendor providing the SIP trunks, providing the appliance, providing the phones, we have our own portfolio of devices. When they hear that, and there is a one-stop shop in terms of getting support, that changes the game. Because as you know, right now, the market is very hodgepodge. You got SIP phones from one place, you got gateways from somewhere else, you got somebody else's cloud that you have no control in terms of features and functionality. And then so that sets us apart from us providing an end-to-end provider. The other thing in the market is, as you know, there is a lot going on in terms of subscription pricing. We do have subscription pricing in the cloud, but if a customer wants to have an on-prem system, buy a perpetual license, leave the system for, going, even if they don't want to support, renew their maintenance contract, the system will continue working. So this is another thing. We have a number of customers that even they're leaving Cisco because Cisco is pushing WebEx and subscriptions and so on. And there is a community of customers that they still want the old model. We have that. We can provide that. We also have, as I mentioned earlier on, we have a cloud. Our cloud functionality is exactly the same, but it's in the cloud, which really is the same functionality on the appliance it's available in the cloud. Which what does that mean? It means that you have a full PBX available to tailor, customize for the needs of your customers. And that's, again, it's a winning proposition because a lot of the cloud providers out there, they are, first of all, they're selling somebody else's solution. It's not vertically integrated. If somebody needs a new feature, they can't do anything about it. This is all our intellectual property. We can modify it as we get feedback from you. And you have a full PBX, so you can customize the solution to the needs of your community of customers out there. I'm going to now move to the next slide. I'm going to pass it to Scott to talk about a few different selling scenarios here for you.
Thanks, Ardavan. Yeah, so let me pick up the ball here and talk about some of these sales motions that Ardavan's referenced. We think we can really help you to make your cash register ring with all of these. So first up is the E-MetroTel unique green migration strategy that Ardavan spoke to. You know, we like to say at E-MetroTel that we effortlessly pave the way to the customer's communication future. And we do that by supporting over 100 different endpoints from 6 major manufacturers. Now, what that really boils down to is that we provide the most cost-effective path to reliable, secure, and fully supported communications, keeping the customer seamlessly connected and maximizing their budget. Just as importantly, many customers who have lost support for their current solutions can adopt E-MetroTel appliances or the E-MetroTel cloud to ensure that they remain on a supported system and that they receive regular updates and patches. But E-MetroTel can offer much more than simple support for the customer's existing telephones. Once they've adopted an E-MetroTel solution, they can, of course, expand their system as required and add applications. It goes without saying that support for customers' existing investments at the desktop is a great door opener, but in many cases, customers ultimately decide to replace some or all of their desktop devices. And of course, in today's environment, nearly everybody's interested in adding collaboration and mobility to their communications infrastructure. And E-MetroTel's mobility and collaboration apps empower employees with essentials tools that they need to stay connected, informed, and productive anytime, anywhere. And E-MetroTel's contact center solution delivers powerful features and seamless scalability at an unbeatable price, frankly, at a price that no other competitor can match. In addition, we have a number of unique applications that really resonate with our customers. For example, E911 notification, scheduled announcements, Find Me, Follow Me services, property management integration for hospitality. And then that moves us into the third area that Ardavan also referenced, which is a move into the cloud. E-MetroTel has a great wholesale offer that allows you to move your customers to the cloud on your own paper. That is to say that you can maintain complete control over the customer relationship. Now, that's great if your customer wants to move to the cloud today, but in many cases, customers are still trying to figure out whether cloud is the right solution for them. In that case, we can offer a really nice two-step solution where the customer adopts an E-MetroTel appliance today and then moves to the cloud in the future, reusing that appliance as a survivable gateway. Under either scenario, the customer maintains the ability to carry forward their existing desktop devices, and they can add E-MetroTel SIP trunks to provide a complete end-to-end E-MetroTel solution. There's no retraining because the UCX software is the same, whether it's on the appliance or from the cloud. And let me just reiterate how important that telephone reuse is in a move to the cloud from a customer's perspective. So like Ardavan, in a previous life, I worked for Nortel. I also worked for Avaya. I spent most of my time on Avaya Aura, but my last position was with Avaya Cloud Office. The number one question that came up time and again from customers was, can I make use of my existing telephones? Now, in the case of Avaya Cloud Office, that answer was virtually always a no. But with E-MetroTel, your response will nearly always be a resounding yes. So let me kick it back to you, Ardavan, and give you an opportunity to tell our audience more about the innovation that you and the R&D team are working on for 2025.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks, Scott. So we have a number of things on the go. So we are a company like any other technology company. We're continuously investing in the future. That's the nature of the game. And therefore we're not just stopping and stop supporting, few phones here or there. We're making sure that this company is going to be here for many years to come, and that to do that, we want to make sure that investment is in place. So of course, as we have talked about in the beginning, we've already showing it at shows that we have a working NEC. We have NEC phones working on our platform. We are getting feedback from various parties on making it better, and we are going to be supporting the digital as well as the IP phones. And I will emphasize not only the digital, that we will support the digital in the cloud as well as their IP, and you will not need to flash the firmware. The firmware, you will keep the current firmware. You don't need to touch it. We don't even touch the phone. We just interface we interface to that phone. So for you is it's very simple. You go you find out what's the IP address of the NEC server. You program our server to be the same address, and then you shut down the NEC server, and then everything is pointed to our server, and our appliance is gonna take over. Nothing to touch the phones. This is the way we're designing it, and that's the way it works. And that's how we're gonna deliver the solution. So this is going to be available in Q2, and we are already engaging a number of resellers for getting, as I said earlier on, getting feedback. Second thing that we're bringing on here is DECT mobility. So if you're familiar already with NEC DECT, we have gone to the source. The same people who are manufacturing NEC DECT today are decided, hey, we're going to jump with E-MetroTel, and we're going to manufacture DECT, the base stations and handsets for E-MetroTel. And I got the devices here. There is a ruggedized one, and then there is a normal one, and then there is like two different base stations. You can put 4,000 base stations. You can connect 4,000 base stations together on this one versus this one. You can bring two base stations together up to 20 handsets. So this is going to be available in June timeframe. And again, it's built by the same people, the manufacturing vendor that was building it for NEC. And this is the continuity that we're bringing to the market. Then fast forward, we are going to introduce our own touchscreen phones. Now, you're going to say, what's the point here? There's a lot of touchscreen phones in the market. Number one, this is a Linux phone. It's not an Android. What you have in the market, there's a lot of Android, and the Androids are security, challenges, sluggishness, and so on. So that's number one. Number two, this phone is designed, manufactured by us in North America, here in Dallas. We're based in Dallas, and this is, when was the last time somebody built a phone in US? We've been at this. We didn't start this like a couple of weeks ago. We knew that this is good. This is going to be the trend. We've been at this for 18 months, and I do have a sample here on my desk. So it is real, and this is going to be the first one is going to be available in June timeframe, and then the bigger one is going to be available by end of the year. Again, designed, manufactured in the US market. Now, what's the other differentiation? Oh, the software that goes into the phone, in the physical phone, is the same soft phone that we have. So if you're a user that's using the phone in the office, now you're going to use it on your iPhone, it's going to have the same interface. You don't have to learn something else. With everybody else, it's a hodgepodge. A SIP phone from this manufacturer, which now the tariffs has gone up on it. Then you need a soft phone from somebody else. Now you got to marry everything together, and good luck. And you know what is going to happen? The reseller like you is going to spend time. Instead of selling, you've been spending time putting things together. And this is what we're doing by having everything seamlessly working together. The next thing we're doing here is we're introducing a call box, and this is a traditional way. We decided, look, still a lot of wires out there. This is an analog call box. It's very low cost. Your price might be around 40, $50. I don't know, in that range. And versus a SIP device, it will be in $300 range. So again, this gives you a differentiation to go into hospitality, go into healthcare, old age homes, that kind of places. Put this, and by the way, you can add a pull cord to this call box. So if somebody pulls the cord, the call box will automatically ring a group of phones. And when the nurse picks up the call, if she hangs up, then the call box will hang up as well. And again, this is something that we are bringing to the market. And by the way, this is available now, and it will be available for shipping this week. This the call box that you're seeing, the green box on the screen. And then the next page is our Infinity One. Infinity One is our real-time browser-based WebRTC app. This is browser-based. It is very much like Microsoft Team. You have chat, you have messaging, you have channels, you have video conferencing, you have a very enhanced soft phone. If you're agent, real estate agent, you could you could have this on your desk and see various agents, their status, forward calls, and all that. So that's all built in. And what we're doing with it is we're taking it one step forward, and this will be integrated in Teams, because we come across MS Team quite a bit. Customer might be having MS Team. They want to use the contacts within the MS Team. They want to do a click to dial out of MS Team. They can do a click to dial. The call will go through this app. And what's the value? There's no extra cost here. There's no licensing. You don't have to buy a Microsoft Teams level, I don't know, they call it E3, E5 licensing, buy expensive Microsoft SIP trunks. You don't need to do any of that. And this is it's going to be available at no extra cost, supported as part of our standard licensing. With this, I'm going to now hand it back to Scott. He's going to talk about some of the success stories that we have had in the market.
Thanks, Ardavan. So these are just summaries. We've got a great selection of E-MetroTel success stories on our website, so I encourage you to have a look at those. But I've picked out three here, and let's begin with the Shaw Center. So the Shaw Center is a world-class convention center with 192,000 square feet of event space, hosts over 450 events in any given year. It was awarded the 2020 International Association of Conference Centers Apex Award for the world's best convention center. Now, the Shaw Center had an aging phone system that was exceeding their budget. They needed new features that would match the world-class facility they were presenting to the public. The cost associated with the system for new phones and licensing was very high. Support was difficult to get and costly, and the system was difficult to administer. Pardon me. Their solution was an E-MetroTel Galaxy Expand that offered a hybrid capability to retain some of their existing phones and add E-MetroTel Infinity IP phones on the same system. In addition, E-MetroTel Infinity One mobile clients were implemented to allow employees to work effectively from home as well as from their mobile phones. The cost benefits were very compelling. They saved roughly $10,000 on phones, as well as obviously keeping those out of the landfill. They were able to simplify their network, replacing several servers with a single Galaxy Expand server. The green migration story allowed them to migrate at their own pace rather than have a flash cutover. And the support from both the reseller and E-MetroTel were excellent, and also provided them with cost savings of about $3,000 per year. Pardon me. In the case of Dayco, the existing phone system had become unreliable, and the call center system was not providing the agent or the supervisor tools needed to effectively manage the call traffic or agent performance. With E-MetroTel, they got everything they needed on a single server, including call center, voicemail, IVR, auto attendant, and conferencing. And using the real-time call flow and agent reporting, DACO were able to pinpoint customer complaint issues and improve their agent performance by 20%. As the quote indicates, the system was simple to manage, flexible, and very reliable, and they were delighted with their UXC solution. Bath Community Hospital had a phone service that was powered by an aging Nortel Option 11 that no longer met the hospital's needs. The hospital received quotes from E-MetroTel, Avaya, and Cisco, and in the end, E-MetroTel won for several reasons. First, it was by far the most cost-effective. Second, E-MetroTel allowed them to keep their digital phones and migrate to IP phones at their own pace. And the third was that the offer from Avaya involved downtime of 8 hours. In the end, E-MetroTel were able to move the solution from an option 11 to a UCX in 8 minutes. The additional benefits for Bath were cost savings. They removed 2 PRIs and moved to SIP trunking, which saved them over $2,000 a month. In terms of adding and moving phones, they found the UXC solution much easier and a great time saver. And in terms of migration to IP, the customer said that they really liked being able to migrate on their own schedule, saving them substantial money on the initial install and allow them to budget as necessary for ongoing migrations to the IP phones. So let's go to the next slide, please, Ardavan. So that's what our customers think of us, but what about our resellers? Well, you're going to be glad to know that I'm not going to read you everything on this slide, but these really are a couple of excellent quotes, and I wanted to share them with you. And let me just summarize. Dan Mack at Voice New England brought out some key points here in his quote. The first is that E-MetroTel solutions allow him to position continued support for his install base beyond the NEC sunset, and that E-MetroTel provides an alternative that's very cost effective for his customers, allowing them to retain their existing phone investment. Tom Hansen with Finley Telecom notes that he actually wishes he just moved right through NEC to E-MetroTel. He's called out both a very easy transition to E-MetroTel solutions and the fact that our support really does provide him with the ability to ensure clean installs with his customers. So these are obviously very complimentary quotes. We appreciate them very much, and frankly, we work hard to get these sorts of accolades from our reseller community. The other thing I'll point out to you here is that we do have a YouTube video available on our YouTube site that includes interviews with several other resellers. And, I think what really comes through in that video is that we treat our resellers with respect. We truly do want to have a partnership with our resellers, and our support for those resellers is really second to none. So at this point, let me pass the baton over to you, Patricia, to talk about the onboarding process with E-MetroTel.
Okay, thank you, Scott. As Scott mentioned, I'm Patricia Wolfenbarger. I am U.S. Business Development Leader. And just want to say that if you do not have a target rep or know who your rep is, that's who you need to contact first if you're interested in becoming a reseller. If you don't have that rep or know they are, contact Tim Rogers. His info is there on the screen. Just send him an email and Tim will take care of getting your information to us. Once we receive your information, I will reach out, contact you, talk about the steps of becoming a reseller. We make it very easy. There's no contracts to sign. There's no minimum volumes to meet. So we make it extremely easy to become a reseller. And then our demo kit. We'll discuss the demo kit. We ask every reseller to buy a demo kit. So you have a system to get your hands on. Your technicians, anybody that needs to learn it can get their hands on it. Also, you can demo it to your customer. And also with the purchase of the demo kit, you're also going to be eligible for all of our training that we offer monthly. It's live webinar based. I guess if you wanted to go to Dallas, of course, that invitation is always open to go to Dallas. But we do offer this at no cost. It is for sales training, technical training, quote tool training. And again, that's every month. We send out an announcement to let you know when those dates are. You just follow the directions on the email. We'll get you registered and you'll be in our technical training. You can send as many people from your company that needs to go to any of these trainings, get them registered, and there's no cost for them either. Also, we have online certification. That's at no cost as well. Then once you decide on a demo kit, we'll go through what's best suited for your company. We'll provide a quote. Once we're ready to move on to the partner portal, you'll get an email from us with information for you to set up your own account with your password. Then you can go in, order the demo kit. I will walk you through it. We'll navigate the portal together. When you order the system, it'll go through our portal, but in our portal, you are set up with Target Distributing as your distributor. Our system will know that order goes to Target. Your hardware will go to Target out of the order. Your software will go to E-MetroTel, and our system will also know how to split that order up. Once your demo kit is received, you're going to get that. Let us know you've gotten it. We're going to set you up with someone to help you go through that to get it activated. We're very hands-on with our resellers. We're there to support you and help you, and we want you to learn and know the product as much as you can, so that's going to give you the confidence and the knowledge to go out and sell it. Then once you've got all that done, then we're ready to get you into technical training again, that you're getting into this training again at no cost, and it's monthly, and we'll get you in that training so you can go through with one of our engineers on the training. So as I mentioned in the beginning, if you do not know who your target rep is, please contact Tim Rogers. He'll get the info to me, and I'll be happy to call you, and I look forward to talking to you about how to become a reseller. I'm going to turn it over to Tim, and Tim, when you get through, if you'll turn it back over to me, we'll have the Q&A there at the end. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Patricia. Thank you, E-Metro team, for the great info and presentation. I also want to thank everybody in attendance. I know it's tough to take time out of your days for these kind of midday webinars, so thank you all. You know, as a former NEC and Panasonic distributor, got to say I'm pretty excited that I can show a solution that can extend the life of those costly out-of-business vendor endpoints, aka phones, right? NEC, Panasonic, anybody? All right. The revolutionary green migration from E-MetroTel is a really cool tool to win a deal without having to replace every phone. That said, you can certainly forklift the entire legacy system with all new E-MetroTel IP phones and or soft phones. Pretty good looking stuff. You really got to appreciate that flexibility. Forklift, just a server, reuse the phones, all new phones. Interesting. I don't know anybody else who allows you to do that to a legacy base. So I am very excited about this, as is the Target team. Again, as Patricia said, to get started, you can contact me. You can contact your Target rep. Some of you on this call may know our ACE support guy, Chris Howell. You could also contact Chris Howell. You'll be sent an onboarding form. Once you complete that, I'll shoot it back over to Patricia, and her team will contact you on the steps to buy that demo system and get set up in their portal. Again, very excited here at Target Distributing. I hope you out there in the channel see it too. I'm going to hand it back to Patricia. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, thank you, Tim. We do have a couple of questions here. So our first question is, from what I can see on the E-MetroTel Migrate NEC page, the devices that the E-MetroTel support are from the SB9100, SB9300. Since the NEC DSX SL1100 and SL2100 phone systems were offered by Target Distributing and are ubiquitous, do you have plans to support those endpoints as well?
Okay, I'll take that question. Yes, absolutely. We are getting the 1100 and the 2100. Actually, Tim is going to ship us these, and we believe the signaling is very similar. So it's not much of a should not be much of a work adding those So yes, it's part of our plans. It's just
Okay.
timing.
Nick, if you have any other questions on that, please put them in the chat. Hopefully that answers. The second question, can you use Yealink phones?
Absolutely. We support Yealink phones, and we actually have a provisioning server for it. Of course, we do not suggest to, use Yealink phones as a brand new, but yes, absolutely. From a migration, we support the Yealink phones on our platform, and you can configure them. Yeah.
Okay, we have another question. Does the Infinity One app soft phone show presence?
Yes, it does. So if you're on a phone, on a physical phone, on an NEC phone, you will see the presence of that phone on the Infinity One soft phone. The BLF keys. Actually, it's across the board. I'll actually take it a little bit further. If you have I mean, I know it might not be a real, well, it could be if you have a bank with many different branches, and some branches are Avaya, and some branches are Panasonic and Nortel, which is real case. I've come across it. You can put in, you can put our gateways and our devices at each location, and then aggregate all that into a single call server, whether it's in their corporate office or in the cloud. And then you can share the presence between all these digital IP, between each other as BLFs, as well as on that soft phone that I was showing.
Okay, we have a couple of questions that came in early.
Sure, go for it.
Can we get support for NEC Digital and IP phones today?
It's you can test it. We have not gone GA, so if you want to test it, yes, we can provide it to you. It's going to be available in June, in Q2 timeframe. That's what we're
Okay.
working through. We're making it generally available to put it on customers, but it's available today for testing by resellers.
Okay. Do you require minimum annual purchase volume to maintain reseller status?
No, all that gimmick and all these things that they did that to you over years. Whether, and I'm not going to say who, right? It's no point of that, but it's not here, right? So whether you sell one system or 100, it doesn't matter to us. Well, you'll be able to work with us. That's how we work with others.
Right. I think I mentioned that we do not require minimum volumes of sales. Another question.
No signing, right? A lot of other people ask you to, they want 10K. I know. I mean, again, I'm not going to mention their name, but they want you to actually give them 10K, 20K to sign up. We don't have any of this. All we say, get a demo system. Because why do we say buy a demo system? We say because we want to make sure we're going to invest time, right? We want to make sure you got the system, you get your hands on it, and that's it. All your investment is a demo system, and that's all.
So another question was, how much does the demo kit cost?
I guess you can answer it better, but it varies between, I think, 1,300 to, I don't know. What's the variation?
It really, it can go from 13 on up to, 17, 1,800. You can go even more than that, depending on what all you want on your demo kit. Some people just dress it out with everything, so it can get, whatever. But you want to suit it to best for what your customer base is, and that's what we listen to you and want to build the kit that's going to be right.
But the level of discount that you're getting here, especially on the Galaxy Pro, it's like we open up all the licenses, all the applications. So it's a neighborhood of 20K that we're discounting, and you're getting a discount of 20K on a Galaxy Pro.
Correct.
Next.
And that's all the questions we have.
Anything you want to bring up?
Oh, hold on. There's
Go
one
ahead.
more. Come in. Do you support MyTel phones?
We have, funny enough, Mitel had done testing of some of their phones on our platform themselves. They are the ones that we have tested. They are on our website. As long as you have the Mitel SIP firmware in there, we support that today. We are looking at possibly extending it to some of their other phones, other proprietary, their older phones. But we have not done that yet because our focus is NEC at this moment. We want to make sure we get that out before we open it up to other manufacturers.
Okay, that is the last question I have, unless anyone else has a question that you'd like to put in chat.
So maybe I'll give him a summary. Basically, you're dealing with a company. As I said in the beginning, we are vertically integrated, meaning everything we have is part of our intellectual property. You're dealing with a company that doesn't have any debt. It doesn't have any ownership of some VC or something. Company is owned by its employees. And what does that mean? That means that we answer to the resellers. Our paychecks, our funding comes out of the sales. We have to keep the customers happy. So there's no debt. We know we have an end-to-end solution. And for us, it's just the business is going to grow because as you know, with all the various vendors exiting the market, there is a community of customers that they want things in a traditional way, control, being able to either have a control as an appliance on site or as a virtual solution in the cloud. And that's what we provide. So we provide a bridge from the past into the future with all the latest technologies, collaborations, and so on, without telling people you got to cut everything and you got to change the way you were doing business. And that's what we do, and that's how we are going to grow the business. And I would say, as Scott was saying, the traditional way, focusing, working with the channel partners across the board, whether it's small or large, and that's our go-to market. And we are really appreciate you guys giving us the time today to come and listen to what we have, and we're looking forward. Yes, go ahead, Patricia.
I'm sorry, we have another question, and Jim, I see your hand is up, so we'll get to you right after this question. Is there a cost for soft phones that mirror desk phones?
No, it's part of the standard license. So first of all, with the Mini comes with the licenses in there. You don't have to buy any licenses. You can put our soft phone on the Mini. On the Pro, where it is more of an enterprise play, there are licenses, and these licenses are used for our IP phones, or they can be used for the soft phone. The same license you can hot desk from our soft phone into it, or use it for a physical phone.
Okay, so Jim, can you hear me? I don't know if Jim can come off of mute or
no, I have to find Jim. So you go continue. Yeah, Jim.
Okay. Jim is at the top of our list, if that's what you're...
So I just allowed Jim to talk.
Okay.
Yeah, he can unmute himself. Okay, continue. Any other questions?
Okay, we do. Can you explain again the physical migration process from NEC SV9100 CPU to E-MetroTel PBX server?
Good question. So what we do is, we have our server, which I don't have it around me. We have a server, and then we have, let's say it's a digital phone. We have one of these cards, right? The card that you see here, it's a card that it's called the DSM-16. This card, you can program it to support Avaya, Nortel, Panasonic, and NEC. When you log into the card, you say, oh, you're going to have an NEC. So now when you connect the NEC phone, the wiring from the BICS panel into here, you basically take the Amphenol and put it here. Then you can send the traffic to a local appliance that we have on site, or you can send it to the cloud. And this is a chassis. The chassis by itself, it doesn't do anything. You just have to add cards. So this one is a DSM-16, and this is, I think, it's a 8-port FXO card, or you can put an analog card in there. Jim, you can unmute yourself if you want to.
Can you hear me?
Actually, go for it, Jim.
Yes.
So you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. My name's Jim Rusnock from Double Eagle Voice and Data Systems. We're in a suburb of Washington, D.C. We have been a Nortel, Avaya, and Panasonic dealer since the early 90s. I've owned this company since 2003. We were dyed-in-the-wool Nortel devotees. We loved Nortel. It was the center of our lives and our livelihood for a long time. At the same time, we've been a customer of Target Distributing for about, I want to say 25 years, several years before I bought the company. Target has been fantastic for us. They're local to us. The tech support is fantastic. Their inventory has been fantastic. They're just a tremendous company to deal with. But I'm probably not telling you anything. You're already customers of theirs. So the story that Ardavan is telling about E-MetroTel is rock solid and really true. We have had this experience selling customers either the on-premise hardware or the cloud solution for about the last 8 years that we've been selling E-MetroTel. And it's just getting better every month. Ardavan and his team keeps adding more stuff to the, as you saw in the presentation earlier, keeps adding new things, new features. It's just a growing, fantastic solution for what's happening in the marketplace. All these, previously big players in business telephony going out of business or de-emphasizing that part of their business. So I have nothing but great things to say about Target Distributing and E-MetroTel. Fantastic combination. I'm open if any of you want to get in touch with me, get a hold of either Target Distributing or E-MetroTel. They can provide my contact info to you if you want to ask me any questions. But I have nothing but good things to say about that combination of Target and E-MetroTel. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. We much appreciate this. We much appreciate the business and the support that we've got from, resellers like yourself over years. Without people like yourself, we would not be here. So with the support, and I'm talking again, but I'm happy that we are joining the Target community in a very official way, and the NEC is giving us the opportunity. And I was at a show that Target was hosting, and this is what I told myself. Look, you're becoming part of a community that is very important.
Very true.
Wow, Jim, Tim at Target, thank you very much for the shining endorsement, sir.
Absolutely. My pleasure. You guys have earned it.
Okay, back to who's closing.
So yeah, we're through with questions. So does Scott want to wrap it up, or Ardavan? I know this has been
Scott to wrap it up. Let's Scott wrap up.
Okay, Scott, I know it's been recorded. A lot of people were asking me for the recording, so I'll let you address however we're going to get this out to folks.
Yeah, so thanks very much, Patricia. Thanks for everybody for staying with us and asking those questions, and of course to our presenters. So we will put this out onto our YouTube channel. We'll follow up. We've got a complete list of the folks that registered for this, and we'll get back to you with that link as soon as it becomes available. I'll make one more suggestion to you. If you go on to the E-MetroTel website, you can have a look at a lot of the products that Ardavan spoke about. As well, if you click on the link, the company link, there's access into our documentation, and there's some great videos there, and our documentation is all online. If you want to just check out and sort of validate in your own mind how easy it is to set up some of these solutions or what they look like, please do go there. And as we've all said, we'd love to hear from you. So emetrotel.com sales@emetrotel.com, or a direct link into Tim at Target there with his email address. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for participating in today's webinar. We look forward to having great conversations with you in the future.